last year. The other year we had an eventful moment. We used to be here, and I want to thank you for the continued support. As I said a few weeks ago, today I have come to vote for the preferred candidates, and I'm happy all the pro-government LSK candidates are going to win today, from the presidency to representative of the JSC. Because we want to clean LSK, we are going to drain the swamp so that we have an LSK that has an interest of public, where we want to see LSK which is more proactive in public interest litigation. We don't want LSK which will always join in to fight government or be part of the state-sponsored fight against court cases that are what referred as ambulance chasers, or cases that are intent to undermine the agenda of the government today. So we have talked with advocates across the country who are eligible voters, and they have confirmed to me, and they are in position to speak. And people should not get worried, because yesterday you saw one of the candidates, or some candidates who are running today in LSK polls, who are taking a photo with the former premier. So I don't see why people find it offense when Senator Cherargei say only all pro-government candidates should be voted for, or people who will support the government agenda. Because yesterday it was clear that other people are pro-Azimio and us, we are pro-government. And this is the democracy that we must enjoy at the end of the day. And in fact, that picture that we saw yesterday of Faith and colleagues who are pro-Azimio taking with the former prime minister was enough for us to mobilize and marshal our numbers and ensure that at the end of the day, all from the presidency of LSK downwards, all of them must be pro-government. So I want to say I'm happy. I can see the efficiency there is very important, very good. I see the IBC are doing a good job. I'm surprised Kenyans are funny, especially the advocates who appeared before the petition presentation. They were doubting the IBC, but today they believe in the faith of IBC. But I want to thank the IBC. I've gone there, I've used less than 10 minutes. The efficiency, the professionalism that is there. I saw also that at least all candidates have their own agents. So I think by the end of the day, when the votes will start coming in, everybody should get the vote. Every vote must count. What I want to ask all members of Law Society of Kenya and advocates to come out in large numbers and exercise their democratic right. Let us drain the swamp so that this country, we can have an LSK that is pro-people, pro-public interest, an LSK that will not be used as a proxy to fight the government of the day when the government is trying to deliver on the justice. Because, for example, let me use just one example. The other day when the president was pushing for affordable housing, you know, Nairobi here, we have a problem with housing, and most of Kenyans do not live in dignified places. Most of the people who are fighting government in court were officials of LSK. And that is why it is important today we are chasing them out of the system. We are draining the swamp so that we have a clean LSK. I'm not saying LSK should always support what the government is saying daily. What I'm saying, they should push public interest litigation at any given time. And I think that is what is important at the end of the day. So nataka niseme sisi kama mawakili nimefurahi, nimekuja kupiga kura kwa wale wanawania viti mbalimbali kwa chama cha mawakili LSK, na mimi nataka nirudie yale nilisema kule Nandi, ya kwamba kura ambaye nimepiga na wenzangu wengi ni kuunga mkono wale candidates ambao wanaunga mkono serikali. Sisi tunataka LSK ambayo itafanya kazi na serikali, kwa sababu LSK wakifanya kazi na serikali wanaweza kudeliver on public interest matters. So mimi niko hapo, ndio nimekuja kuconfirm tumepiga kura ya kutosha, na ni mzuri. Jana kuna picha ilitoka, kuna wale wanaania viti katika LSK walipiga picha na aliyekuwa kinara wa upinzani. Sasa mambo imekuwa sawa sawa, tumejua nani ni wa serikali na nani ni wa upinzani, na tutapiga kura kulingana na huo mjibu. Mimi nataka niulize mawakili mahali popote walipo ambao wamehitimu kupiga kura katika zoezi hili ya uchaguzi wa viongozi wa LSK wajitokeze kwa wingi. Na nimefurahia chama ama tume ya uchaguzi IBC, nimeingia pale sijamaliza dakika 10, nimeweza kupiga kura kwa haraka sana, na nafikiri leo jioni tutaweza kupata viongozi wapya wa LSK. Sisi ambao tunasema we are draining the swamp, hatutaki LSK ambaye wa vikaragosi ama wale wapinzani wa serikali wanajificha ndio waweze kusponsor what we call sponsoring against public interest litigation, ama wanapewa pesa na watu fulani ndio walete kesi ambao inaangamiza agenda ya serikali. So nataka niwatakie macandidates wale wetu ambao tunawaunga mkono all the best. Wale ambao watashindwa wasifanye maandamano tafadhali, ama wasiende Supreme Court. Ukishindwa uende nyumbani. I think that's the culture that we must encourage. Ukishindwa kwa hii, weenda nyumbani. Hatutaki kuona maandamano pale LSK ama maofisi. Everybody, na hiyo ndio nitaka kusema. Otherwise sina maneno mingi, unless there is one or two questions, then we can end it there. On AU, sisi tumekubaliana tu mambo ya AU. Hakuna, mimi sijaona handshake yote. Nimeshangaa watu wakiandika ati kuna handshake. Hakuna handshake, there is no handshake as far as I'm concerned. What Raila did is to request the support of the government. And the other day I said there should be 3 conditions. One, he must apologize to Kenyans against the maandamano that destroyed businesses and many blood was spilled. Number 2, he must play loyalty to the government of President William Ruto. Because the lobbying of AU chairperson will not be done by ODM or Azimio. It will be done by the government of Kenya and the resources of the government of Kenya. So that is my only appeal, so that we go into the future. For us who support His Excellency the President, we don't have a problem him getting the AU chairmanship. But the final condition, he must leave local politics. Because you cannot be chairing an AU commission in Addis Ababa and undermining the government of the day. So I think what he said yesterday, an AU commission in Addis Ababa and undermining the government of the day. So I think what he said yesterday, I know he was saying it to please and massage the ego of his supporters in Omagay. Because he said he will always be alive. We know Addis Ababa is 2 hours away, but we are asking him to leave local politics. I know going into the future, because I've been discussing with my colleagues who come from Nyanza, Azimio members of parliament. I know in 2027 there will be many political field roles, especially in Luo Nyanza, because most of them have always depended on Raila running. And therefore, as they write their own political obituaries going into 2027, we want to ask Baba to be a statesman, leave local politics, allow us who are young to be his grandchildren to learn the local politics, let him learn the African politics, so that we can see what the future has. And I know, I want to say this in conclusion, with a lot of respect. I know if Baba leaves the local political scene, I thought Kalonzo thought he would be the biggest beneficiary. But I have bad news for him. He might not survive the next political massacre that is going to happen in local political scene. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Yes. 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 Nimesema he must recognize President William Ruto as president. We are yet to hear him saying it, but the day will recognize and call his troops to order, and we expect that arrangement to extend to Parliament, where when we have government business on the floor of the House, they should support in goodwill, because you cannot say you support President William Ruto for AU, yet you don't support his government and recognize him as the President of the Republic of Kenya.